You're able to for our class, in a digital environment, even though it's a digital environment. Inshallah, today we want to continue with our exercises in chapter 11. We will have done many of them last few weeks. So inshallah, I'll just quickly remind us as to what we have covered so far by way of the exercises in chapter 11. Then we will proceed on from, I think we reached number 11, all right? Number 11 in chapter 11. So we will continue from number 12, inshallah, all right? So just to quickly recap what we would have done by way of see something popping up here. Let me just stop the share again. Right. So just to quickly refresh our memories as to what we were doing by way of the exercises, all right? So in this passage, of course, it's a scenario in a bus where two people have a conversation, all right? Hiwar means conversation, all right? And of course, the emphasis here in this and the few previous lessons was on the present tense verb, right? The various forms of the present tense verb. So we saw, of course, the first couple exercises, first couple questions is based on comprehension of the passage. Third one is generic questions, not on the passage, but similar type of questions, right? Then we went into basically how we manipulate the verb from the past tense to get the present tense form. We started off with the verb dahaba. So we saw with dahaba, we would have to change that from past tense to present tense based on the context in the sentence. Okay, so from the past tense dahaba, we get present tense yadhabu. Dahaba yadhabu. He went, and yadhabu means he goes, present tense. Right? Then we went on and we saw more of that, but using different verbs, right? So we got some more practice with respect to that. Then we also looked at changing now from the singular present tense verb to the plural present tense verb. So we have from dakhala yadkhulu, yadkhuluna, okay? Yadkhuluna. Or if it's feminine, is dakhala yadkhulu, yadkhulna, yadkhulna. Is feminine plural. So we look at all of that and some examples with respect to those. Of course, the one we have to pay extra attention to is the second person masculine and the third person feminine, which is the same form of the verb, but based on the context, we will be able to tell the difference. Okay, so we have this here highlighted for us so that we can remember that, right? Anta tadhabu, hiya tadhabu. Okay? So anta means you, masculine, plural. Sorry, masculine, singular. You, masculine, singular. All right? So, and of course, hiya is she, which is feminine, third person, singular. So you have anta tadhabu, hiya tadhabu. Both are the same spelling, same pronunciation, right? So the only way we tell them apart is based on the context in the sentence, right? So please remember that. And of course, we had a little bit of practice, again, with various forms of the verb. Then we looked at how do we negate the present tense verb. Recall a few lessons ago, we negated the past tense verb by using the particle, ma. So we have kataba, he wrote, ma kataba, he did not write. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, wa ma khalaqatu, I did not create. Ma khalaqatu, I did not create jinn and mankind except for his worship. Okay, so ma negates the past tense verb. But what about the present tense verb? What negates that? The la. La negates the present tense verb. So we see it here highlighted. Ma kataba Ahmadu ad-darsa. Present tense, you will say la yaktubu Ahmadu ad-darsa. Okay, so la negates present tense, ma negates past tense. Is that clear with everyone? Then we also looked at the future, right? How do we looked at future tense, or rather tense, we use the future particle, right? Harf al-istiqbal, which is the future particle. So you use the present tense verb. Okay, we use the present tense verb and we just stick in one letter before it. Right? We stick in one letter before it. So just as a refresher again, we have verbs, 3 different types of verbs: past tense, present tense, and the third one is what? Future tense? No, not future tense. What it is?
Command.
Command form. Command form. All right. So past tense, present tense, command form. You haven't done anything with the command forms yet. We'll see that a little later on. So far, we looked at the past tense. We're looking at the present tense now. Okay. And we are saying with the present tense, we can use it to refer to some future time by simply adding one letter. There are no various forms and so on. You just take that particular present tense verb that we're using in that sentence, just stick in a harf in front of it, whether it's sin or sulfur particle, either the sin itself or sulfur, which is just 3 letters. We just stick in that in front of it, and we get the present tense verb referring to the future. Okay? And of course, we saw some examples of that. For example, as we have on screen here, if you all can see the screen. سيرجع المدير غدا. سيرجع. So we have the verb رجع يرجع. رجع يرجع. Right? رجع means what? To return. So this is the past tense. رجع, past tense. يرجع is the present tense. Okay? Ya at the beginning. يرجع. He returns. So we want to refer to the future. We say sayarji'u. Notice the verb is not affected by the scene. No vowels change, nothing else change. You have the same verb there. The only difference is what? We add that letter in front of it. Everybody notice that? Everybody okay with that? All right? All you do is add a letter. So this can only be done for the present tense verb. We can't use that for the past tense, right? You can't take a past tense verb and add a scene to it. No, it won't work, right? You have to add it only to the present tense verb, present tense, right? So we have raja'a yarji'u, present tense, yarji'u. Then we add the seen, we get sa yarji'u. Clear with everyone? Okay. So the next part, the next example we have here is sa'adhabu ila makkata. Sa'adhabu ila makkata ba'da usbu'in insha'Allah. So we have here dhahaba, the past tense verb dhahaba, which is in this case changed into the present tense form. So we have adhabu, adhabu. You'll see that? Dhahaba, adhabu. Dhahaba, yadhabu, adhabu. Right? Remember when you learn a verb, you learn past tense together with the present tense. So that's why you hear me saying dhahaba, yadhabu. So we learn one time what letter goes on the middle, sorry, what vowel goes on the middle letter, right? So dhahaba, yadha, ha, a fatha above the ha, okay? Dhahaba, yadhabu, adhabu. So say that after me. Dhahaba, yadhabu, dhahaba, yadhabu. This is for third person masculine. So now we want to say ana, I. So we instead of yadhabu, we say adhabu. Adhabu, which means I go. All right. So we want to say I will go. So we add the seen in front of it. So we say what? Sa adhabu. Sa adhabu. Again, the present tense verb is still intact there. The only difference is that we tack on to the beginning a seen. All right. Sa'adhabu. So this now means I will go, referring to the future. I will go. Ila Makkata, to Makkah, ba'da usbu'in, after a week, insha'Allah, if Allah wills. The next example we have here. Adhabu ila al-mal'abi kulla masa'in. Adhabu, I go. So this is used for like to describe a habit. So I normally, meaning I normally go every day or every evening, right? So we say Adhabu ila al-mal'abi. I go to the playground. Kulla masa'in. Every evening. So this describes a habit, not so? Or a regular practice. Adhabu ila al-mal'abi kulla masa'in. I go to the playground every evening. Sa'adhabu. So look at the second part here now. Sa'adhabu. Same adhabu, you just add the seen in front of it. Sa'adhabu هذا المساء إلى المكتبة. إلى المكتبة. I will go this afternoon to the library. Okay, so he's saying, I normally, he or she is saying, I normally go every evening to the playground. I will go to the library this evening. Okay. Let's see some more examples here. So they ask a question and we have to answer it using the particle for the future, okay, which is the helpful istiqbal, right? In this case, we are using the seen, right? So let's look at this question. Mata yarji'u. So we have the verb raja'a. So say after me, raja'a. Raja'a yarji'u. Notice the jim has a what below it? A kasra. Okay. So raja'a. Notice we are saying raja'a. This is past tense. Okay. Ra fata, jim fata, ain fata. Raja'a. Past tense. Present tense we saying what? Yarji'u. Yarji'u. Ya fata, ra, sukun, jim with a kasra below it, and then the ain has a dhamma above it. Okay, yarji'u. So say it. Raja'a yarji'u. Raja'a yarji'u. Mata yarji'u abuka min Baghdad Ya Aliyu. When will your father return from Baghdad? O Ali. Again, Raja'a yarji'u. So what's the answer? Sayarji'u. Look at it here. So we have the same present tense verb. We just add the sin in front of it. You all see that? Sayarji'u. 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 بعد أسبوع. سيرجع بعد أسبوع. Next page. أين تذهب هذا المساء؟ أين تذهب هذا المساء? Where are you going this evening? Where are you going this evening? So what's the answer? Anybody want to attempt this?
سأذهب إلى المسجد.
No. سأذهب إلى المسجد. So you add the sin in front of it. سأذهب. Notice here, be careful, everybody, that we have the tadhabu and we have to change it to what? Adhabu, as Brother Kamil did, right? Which is correct. So somebody asks you, they would say tadhabu, where are you going? So we say tadhabu, all right? Aina tadhabu, where are you going? When we answer, we can't say you will go. You have to say I will go. Speaking about yourself, all right? So you have to change ta to ta hamza with a fatha, okay? So we say adhabu, and then you add the sin in front of it, sa adhabu, all right? So the answer is sa adhabu ila al masjidi. I will go to the masjid. Sent. Next one. Mata taktubu الرسالة إلى أمك يا يوسف. متى تكتب الرسالة إلى أمك يا يوسف? When will you write? كتب يكتب تكتب, right? كتب يكتب. Here it's speaking directly to someone, so you would say تكتب, right? After me, كتب يكتب.
كتب يكتب.
كتب يكتب.
كتب يكتب.
تكتب.
يكتب.
And ask, when will you write the letter to your mother, O Yusuf? The Yusuf will reply. Anybody want to try that?
سأكتب بعد أسبوع.
Now, سأكتب. So you have كتب يكتب تكتب, and then you will say أكتب. I write. And you want to add the sin on it. So you say سأكتب. سأكتب. Right? So instead of the ta at the beginning, we have the hamza on the aleph with a fatha. Okay? سأكتب الرسالة بعد أسبوعين. I'll write the letter after a week. Right. Any questions so far? That clear with everyone? Now? All right, next one. متى تغسل السيارة يا ولد? When will you wash the car, oh boy? Right? So we have the verb غسل يغسل. Right? So say after me, غسل
غسل
يغسل.
يغسل.
غسل يغسل.
غسل يغسل.
Again here, fatah, 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 غسل. Then you have يغسل with a kasra below the sin. And here instead of يغسل, we have تغسل. So يغسل is for third person masculine singular. He washes. Okay, he washes. And taghsilu means you, right? You, masculine singular, wash. Okay, so you would say mata taghsilu, when will you wash the car? Right, so the answer will be similar to the others. Sa aghsilu,
أغسل
sa aghsilu السيارة اليوم أو غدا إن شاء الله. All right, so is that clear with everyone? So if somebody asks you a question, متى تذهب؟ متى تكتب؟ متى تغسل؟ متى تذهب? And so on. You have to answer not with ta, but with the a. Okay? أنا أذهب. So you say سأذهب, سأكتب, سأغسل, right? سأنزل, and so on. Right? So moving on now to the next exercise, رقم ثاني عشرة, number 12. اقرأ المثالين ثم اكتب مصدر الأفعال الآتية على قرارها. All right. So you have two examples, and then you have to write the masdar of the following verbs using the same pattern. So what is a masdar? So far we spoke about the past tense verb, and we spoke about the present tense verb. Now we are speaking about something called the masdar. We are speaking about something called the masdar. So we are talking about something called the masdar. What is the masdar? The masdar is a noun that is formed from the verb. It's a noun formed from the verb. Right? So it's a noun, or what you might call a verbal noun. A verbal noun. Right? So it is formed from the verb. It uses the same root letters of the verb. All right, the same three root letters. However, there are various patterns in which you take these root letters and you apply them, or you put them in this pattern, and you get the masdar, or the verbal noun from the verb. What is a verbal noun? It's like, okay, you have the verb kharaja, as you will see in the example here. Kharaja means he exited, right? Yakhruju means he exits, present tense. And then khuruj means exit, right? Not a place for exit, but the exiting of somebody. That thing of exiting, right? It's not a verb, it's a noun, right? Let's look at the examples here. So we have the verb dakhala. This is al-madi. So if you all say after me, you'll get familiar with the terms, right? Al-madi is the past tense, right? So say al-madi, al-madi, al-mudari', 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 al-masdaru, al-masdaru. Right, so al-madi is past tense, al-mudari' present tense, and al-masdar is the verbal noun. All right. So let's look at this verb here. Dakhala Dakhala means what? Dakhala means what? Dakhala,
He entered.
he entered. Good. So you have dakhala, yadkhulu, he enters. And then you have dukhulun. Dukhulun means entry.
Entry.
Entry. Okay? So you have dakhala, yadkhulu, dukhulun. So I have some good news and not so good news. Right? The good news is that these masdar, they come in various patterns. So there's a pattern which you can apply and get the masdar. However, there's no rule to say which verb goes with which pattern. So just as you would learn the present tense verb with the past tense, so that you will know which vowel goes in the center letter, we also have to learn the masdar with each verb. So when you learn a verb, you have to learn three things: past tense verb, present tense verb, and the masdar. Dakhala, yadkhulu, dukhulun. So this is how we learn in verbs. All right, this is how we have to learn verbs. We have to learn that particular pattern for this particular verb. So happening in this table, all of the masdar will be of the same pattern. Right? So say after me again. Dakhala,
Dakhala.
yadkhulu,
Yadkhulu.
dukhulun.
Dukhulun.
Kharaja,
Kharaja.
yakhruju,
Yakhruju.
khurujun.
Khurujun.
Jalasa,
Jalasa.
yajlisu,
Yajlisu.
julusun. See that? Same pattern. So the pattern is what? You take the first root letter, put a dhamma, second root letter, put a dhamma, then put an extra vowel, and then the last letter, you put the tanween on it. See, the tanween on it indicates it's a noun, okay? Because verbs don't take tanween. All right? Verbs do not take tanween. So once you see the tanween, we know it's a noun, right? So it's a simple pattern: dhamma, dhamma, extra vowel, and then the tanween on the last one, right? Simple pattern. So dakhala, yadkhulu, dukhulun. Kharaja, yakhruju, khurujun. Jalasa, yajlisu, julusun. Jim, dhamma. Lam, dhamma, wow. Sin, tanween, dhamma. Okay? Again. Jalasa, yajlisu,
Yajlisu.
julusun. Jalasa, yajlisu, julusun. Jalasa, yajlisu, julusun.
Jalasa. Yajlisu. Julusun.
Next one. Nazala, yanzilu, nuzulun. Nazala, yanzilu, nuzulun. Nazala, yanzilu, nuzulun. All right, we're going to the next half now. Rakiba, yarkabu,
Yarkabu.
rukubun. Rakiba. What rakiba means? Huh? What rakiba? Huh? Rakiba means to ride. So you go for a ride on a bus. All right? Or you go for a ride on a horse. You go for a ride in the car. Rakiba is a rider or a passenger. Sorry, to ride or to go for a ride. And your rakib is a passenger. All right? So you have here Rakiba, he rode. Yarkabu, he rides. And Rukubun is a ride. Right? So Rakiba, yarkabu, rukubun. Rakiba, yarkabu, rukubun. Rakiba, yarkabu, rukubun. Then you have sajada. Sajada, yasjudu. Sajada, yasjudu. And what's the masdar here? Simple pattern. Dhamma, dhamma, wow. It is sujudun. Right, sujudun. Right, so say it again. Sajada, yasjudu, sujudun. Do we know why sajada? Huh? It's a perform what? Huh? Nobody. Right. Sajda is a prostration, right? So sajada, he prostrated. Yasjudu, he prostrates. Sujudun means prostration, right? So sujudun. So you know the different positions in salah. You have sujud, right? You have julus. Julus is what? When you're sitting, right? Or you call it the jalsa position, right? Next one. Raka'a. Raka'a. Yarka'u. Raka'a. Yarka'u. Raka'a. Yarka'u. Ruku'un. Raka'a. Yarka'u. Ruku'un. So that is, of course, the position of ruku'. All right? Which is bowing. Next one. Sa'ida. Yas'adu. Su'udun. Sa'ida. Yas'adu. Sa'ida. Yas'adu. Su'udun. Right. So what is Sa'ida means to ascend or to rise. Okay. So Sa'ida, yas'adu su'udun. Sa'ida, yas'adu su'udun. Any problems with that? All right. Next exercise. اقرأ الجمل الآتية وعين المصدر الواردة فيها. So read the following sentences and identify or pick out the masdar that is present in them. So we have some masdar in the following sentences and we need to pick them out. All right, so good. So far we introduced the one pattern of masdar. So we're just looking for that one pattern. Okay. So let's read the first sentence. لهذه الحافلة بابان. لهذه الحافلة بابان. هذا للدخول وذاك للخروج. Right, so this bus has two doors. This one is for entrance and that one is for exit. Right, so where is the masdar in the sentence?
دخول and خروج.
Right, dukhulun and khurujun. Now, you've seen that, right? Remember we said that the masdar are nouns. So nouns can take tanween and nouns can also take alif lam. Not at the same time, but at alternative times. Sometimes you can take alif lam, sometimes you take tanween, right? So we have here hada lid-dukhuli. So what exactly is this word here, lid-dukhuli? We have here, let's break this down a little bit for those who don't understand where we get this from. We have here lam, lam, dal, kha, waw, and lam. Right? So this is not only for masdar, this is for any word that has alif lam. Any word, any word that has alif lam, this is what applies. So you have here the particle li, which means for or belonging to. It's a particle, right? For or belonging to. Liman hada. Whose one is this? So who does this belong to? Li is a particle. Okay. Then you have the alif lam al. Right? So okay, alif lam. So let's look at the text in green here. So you have the word ad-dukhul. You have dukhul, dukhulun, right, which is entrance. Then you add the alif lam. You cannot put tanween. And if you have the alif lam, right? So therefore you will just have one dhamma. So you have ad-dukhulu, ad-dukhulu. You all see that? Ad-dukhulu. Let's take out this ad-dukhulu, which means the entry. The entry. Right? Now the lam is silent here because the dal is a sun letter. Okay? So therefore, once it's alif lam on a word that starts with a sun letter, the lam will be silent. Right? Now what happens here is that we are going to add on to that the lam kasra, li, meaning belonging to. So when this lam is prefixed onto a word that starts with alif lam, so when this lam is prefixed onto a word that starts with alif lam, what happens? This aleph is lost. Right? The aleph is lost. And then we have two lams. Li. Right? This is joined onto this lam. But we don't say lil because this lam is still silent. Why? Because the sun letter overshadows this sound. So there's no lam for this alif lam sound. So you go straight to the dal. So you go led dukhuli, led dukhuli. But this lam still has to be written there because it shows that there was an alif lam originally onto that word. Is that clear with everyone? Led dukhuli. So هذا للدخول. This is for entering, or this is for entry. وذاك, and that للخروج. In this case, the lam is pronounced. The lam of the alif lam is pronounced because the kha is not a sun letter. So therefore, we would say للخروج. للخروج. Right? Oops. للخروج. Let's read that again. لهذه الحافلة بابان. This bus has two doors. هذا للدخول. This is for entry. وذاك للخروج. And that is for exit. Right? Is that okay with everyone? Can you erase this? Can I erase this? All right, let's look at the next one. Welcome is 9. مات الرجل بعد رجوعه من الحج. مات الرجل مات الرجل بعد رجوعه من الحج. That the man died, past tense, بعد رجوعه, after his return, من الحج, from Hajj. The man died after his return from Hajj. So you have here رجوعه, his return. So it's not his return, but his return. Okay? رجوعه, رجوعه, his return. Right? So مات الرجل بعد رجوعه من الحج. So say after me. مات الرجل
الرجل
مات الرجل بعد مات الرجل بعد رجوعه
رجوعه
من الحج.
من
Next one. Oh, by the way, where is the masdar in that sentence? Where is the masdar? مات الرجل بعد رجوعه من الحج. Where is the masdar?
رجوعه
رجوعه. Now, the ha, the end is a pronoun that is added on, right? To say his return. But the masdar itself is ruju'i. It ends with the ayn, right? It's from the verb raja'a yarji'u ruju'un. Ruju'un with the ayn at the end. Okay? So ruju'i, he. The he there is an added on pronoun, right? It's not part of the master. Anybody is confused about that? The master itself is this part here. So you have raja'a, yarji'u, ruju'i. Ruju'. Okay? Why is it ruju'i and not ruju'u? When it's a noun, so the noun can change. We take fatha, normal, kasra, general common nouns, all right? Because it comes after the word ba'da. So ba'da is the darf, right? So this makes the word that comes after it in the case of jar or the genitive case, okay? It asks, so it's like mudaf, mudaf ilay. So in this case, ruju' would be like mudaf ilay for ba'da, but then ruju' is also mudaf to the pronoun that is the ha, right? Which will now be mudaf ilay for that one, right? So yes, one word can be mudaf and mudaf ilay at the same time, but for different words. Next one. Anybody want to try this one? It's a long one. يدخل الطلاب يدخل الطلاب الفصل قبل دخول المدرس بخمس دقائق وخرجوا ويخرجون بعد خروجه. You want to try that? All right. So you're going to say after me first, and then we will try to point out where is the masdar in this sentence. All right. Say after me. يدخل الطلاب يدخل الطلاب الفصل قبل دخول المدرس.
المدرس
قبل دخول المدرس
قبل دخول المدرس
ب5 دقائق ويخرجون بعد خروجه. Right, where is the masdar in the sentence? Or masdars?
دخول
دخول, نعم.
خروج
Furuj, right? So you have dukhul and furuj. Remember, we only look at one pattern here, right? Dakhala yadkhulu dukhulun. Kharaja yakhruju khurujun. It's the master. So this next sentence, qala qala lana at-tabibu. The doctor said to us, right? Al-julusu huna ma'a al-maridu mamnu'un. Ma'a al-maridi mamnu'un. So the doctor said to us that sitting here with the patient is forbidden. Sitting here, ma'a al-marid is the patient or the sick person. Mamnu'un means forbidden, prohibited, right? So where is the masdar here?
جلوس
Julus. Now, al-julus, sitting. Right? Next one. As-su'udu ala al-jabali صعب النزول منه سهل. Say after me, everybody. الصعود
الصعود
على الجبل
على الجبل
صعب.
صعب
الصعود على الجبل صعب.
الصعود على الجبل صعب
والنزول منه
النزول منه
سهل.
سهل.
Noun from it is easy, right? So we have two masdar there. One is as-su'ud, and the next one is an-nuzul. As-su'ud and nuzul. Ascension is hard, but descent is easy. Descending from it is easy, right? Next one, أحب ركوب الخيل. أحب ركوب الخيل. So where's the masdar there?
ركوب
Rukub. So we said rakiba, yarkabu, rukubun. Right? So rukub means to ride. Khayl is see the translate as horses. So the next name for horses. All right. So I love horse riding. Or in English, you say horseback riding. Any questions there so far? All right, so we go into the next exercise, which is lesson 14 or exercise 14. تأمل الأمثلة ثم أجب عن أسئلة مستعملا أما. So we're going to use the particle أما, all right, which is like a conjunction, which is used in a particular context. So we will look at the examples and you'll see how it is used, right? Amma. So we have here أين تسكنون أين تسكنون? Where do you all live? It's plural here, right? So if it's singular, we would have said sakana yaskunu taskunu. Taskunu. Ta, sin, kaf, nun. Taskunu. But here we have taskununa. We have nun, then the wow. We have ta, sin, kaf, nun, then wow of jama'ah, or the plural wow, and then the nun to end off. Okay? So it's second person, masculine plural. So somebody is speaking to a group of, of, um, of individuals. All right? So let's look at the answer. And this is one passage, it looks like. Right? So the answer is Ikhwati. Ikhwati. Remember, ikhwa is plural for akhun. Akhun is a brother. All right? So akhun, ikhwatun. Brothers, plural. And then you have the ya at the end. So ikhwati, my brothers. Ikhwati, my brothers. So the answer is ikhwati, my brothers. Yaskununa, they live with or they reside. في مهاجع الجامعة, in the dormitory of the university. أما أنا فأسكن مع قريب لي. As for me, so I reside with a relative of mine. I reside with a relative of mine. Okay. So we use amma. Now notice here when we have the word amma, we have to use the fa together with it. All right. Amma ana fa. Amma huwa fa. Amma hada fa. Okay. So this amma means and as for, so as to, like that, right? So in this context is and as for me, fa, so I. So therefore you have to put the fa together with the amma. Is that clear? Let's look at the other examples and see. You have the amma here, you have the fa here. All right, let's look at the next example. أتعرف الإنجليزية والفرنسية جيدا يا حامد. Do you know English and France well, O Hamid? أما إنجليزية, أما here, فأعرفها جيدا. See the fa here. Okay. أما إنجليزية فأعرفها جيدا. As for English, then I know it well. وأما, continuing here, وأما الفرنسية, the fa again here, right? فدرستها قبل سنوات ولكني نسيتها الآن. And as for French, so I studied it many years ago. قبل سنوات, before years, meaning years ago. Right? I studied that years ago. ولكني, but I, نسيتها الآن, but I forgot it now. Right? So you know English good, but the French, he studied so long ago that he forgot. All right? Let's look and see again amma and fa, how it's used, right? Next example, بكم هذا الكتاب, بكم هذا الكتاب وهذه المجلة, هذه المجلة. How much is this book and how much and this magazine? أما الكتاب, so you have the amma here. أما الكتاب fa. See the fa here? Amma and the fa. See that? Amma al-kitabu fahuwa bi asharati riyalat. It is for 10 riyals. Wa amma al-mujallatu, and as for the magazine, fahiya bi thalathati, fahiya again, right? Fahiya bi thalathati riyalat. It is for 3 riyals. Right? So the lesson here is that we use the amma together with the fa. Right? Questions? Let's look at the first question here. أين المستشفى وأين مكتب البريد؟ أين المستشفى وأين مكتب البريد؟ Anybody knows مكتب البريد؟ مكتب البريد. Pool table, no. Huh? A hint in this case, maktabu means office. Cool, no, not cool office. Means a post office. Post office. Okay, maktabul barid. Right? Post office. So the question is, أين المستشفى وأين مكتب البريد? Where is the hospital and where is the post office? So the answer will be, you'll say أما المستشفى فهو أمام ذاك المسجد. أمام ذاك المسجد. As for the hospital, so it is in front of that masjid. وأما مكتب البريد فهو قريب من السوق. Everybody with me there? So using the same pattern, amma, then the word, then fa, and the pronoun referring back to that word. So if the word mustashfa is masculine, you say fa huwa. Amma al mustashfa fa huwa. Amama dhaka al masjid. Next one. في أي كلية يدرس حامد يا عثمان? In which faculty does Hamid study? Sorry, not ya, wa. In which faculty does Hamid and Uthman study? Right, so you would say, Amma Hamidun فهو في كلية التجارة وأما عثمان فهو في كلية الطب. As for Hamid, so then he is in the Faculty of Commerce. And as for Uthman, so he is in the Faculty of Medicine. You all with me? Amma and then Fa, all right? All right, so the last, all right, we'll leave all this for next week. So we just have one exercise to do again, and we will finish off the chapter, all right? So inshallah, we'll leave this for next week, because what we want to do next week is just as we did today, we will just recap very quickly, spend 5-10 minutes to recap some of the exercises we did today, and then we'll go straight into this last exercise and then go through the new words for this passage. Inshallah, next week. So that will take us about probably 20-25 minutes. And then after that, inshallah, we will start the new chapter, chapter 12, next week, inshallah. Right? Any questions? Any announcements? But we have the lectures ongoing on Wednesday nights. I know it's the same time as our class, from 8 to 9, but they are recorded and uploaded on YouTube, so you can log on to the YouTube. I think Sister Sister Shahida had posted the link about 2 or 3 weeks ago in the Arabic
Post the
class.
link for the YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, she posted the link for the YouTube lectures, the IDM YouTube lectures. So if you just go back in your WhatsApp chat, you'll see the link, and you could always look at these lectures at your convenience. Okay, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Let's end with dua for kafaran Surah Al-Asr. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal 'asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa 'amilus salihat wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.